Steve Forbert.
I locked myself away and not face one more day on the streets of this town. And all I've got to lose is a feeling called the blues and the little old frown. I signed your dotted line. I did my best to try, giving all I could give. And all I've gotten back is this feeling that I lack of what I'm needing to live. And you say you don't see it when a grown man starts to cry. You turn your face away and you walk on by. I found myself a girl who brightened up my world from December to May. And then ran off with Jim, but I'll defer to him in his purple beret. 'Cause he knows how to wheel and deal and not to feel when he's knocking you down. And I know he'll succeed, 'cause that's just what you need on the streets of this town. And you say you don't see it when a grown man starts to cry. You turn your face away and you walk on by. All right. On the streets of this town. And all I've got to lose is this feeling called the blues that's been going around. I fit you crazy Norm, I wore your uniform when you told me to go, and got back in return this here feeling that I've learned what the Indians know. And you say you don't see it when a grown man starts to cry. You turn your face away and you walk on by. Well,
nice to see you. This is your debut on Nashville now, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
I want you to do something for me, okay? And we'll plug something for you at the same time. Would you hold up your album cover for a moment? Called Streets of This Town. I want to read some of the reviews. Some of the reviews are quite interesting. Rolling Stone says, arguably the best record he ever made. The Atlanta Constitution says, for Mr. Forbert, the search has ended with one of the best albums of his career and of 1988. Then I have a couple of other interesting things. The New York Daily News. There's enough rock and roll power in the songs themselves and in Forbert's forceful delivery to reach the farthest recesses of any North American stadium. And then Cashbox Magazine mentioned that you had... This was a comeback album. It says comeback albums are rarely this arresting. What do they mean by comeback? And there were several other good reviews, but they would mention that this was a comeback for you. What do they mean by that?
Well, I made 5 records in the late 70s and the early 60s, and then I got into some legal difficulties in the music business that prevented me from releasing any records for about 6 years. And I was writing and performing all that time, but without records out on a consistent basis, you just don't have that visibility.
You lost your momentum.
Well,
Did you have a hit about 1979? Is that the era we're talking about?
Right, 1979. And we're going to do it later tonight. It's called Romeo's Tune. But I didn't really lose my momentum. I just couldn't. Thank you.
Now, was Romeo's Tune a big hit for you?
It was pretty big. But the thing is, without records out, you're sort of, people don't know. We played a lot, and they don't know that you're active.
You don't have the visibility.
Right, so it constitutes a comeback in a lot of people's eyes. But my band and myself, we were working as hard as we could all through that time.
Why couldn't you release records?
Well, that's a long and complicated story.
Is there a simple way to tell me?
Communication problems with record companies, I think, and...
You disagreed with the record company?
Yes.
They disagreed with you? And they wouldn't release the records? Is that about it?
Well, that wasn't the worst part of it. They wouldn't let me go, you see.
Oh, they wouldn't release you?
And they didn't want to record anymore, so it was just a no-win situation. But it's in the past now, and we do have a record out.
Well, good. Let me say something that's in... I used to make records, and so I know what was in my contract, and I suspect it is in a lot of contracts. When a record company signs you, they agree to record you in the contract. They do not agree to release the records. And I suppose it is because if none of the records satisfies them, they don't have to release them. And that may be where you were.
Well, that's understandable. They're investing to pay to make the record, and they have to feel it'll do something. It's just that when they don't, they shouldn't just keep you bound so that you can't go elsewhere or, try something else or at least record something else. I
heard this story about another. This sounds like an echo. I heard this story about a week ago from another act, which I won't reveal that act's name until that act comes on the show because she perhaps wouldn't want me to. On tonight's show, Paul Overstreet is here. Paul, who wrote... Take it away, Steve.
Childhood often seemed a pain to me, so hard waiting to be grown. Childhood climbed up in a white oak tree. I blinked once and it was gone. Airplane flying across the midnight sky. His tiny lights blinked off and on. Watched him moving across the moon on high. Well, I blinked once and it was gone. And it was gone. Gone. Yeah. I blinked once and it was gone. The girl I met was all I cared for, friends. I called her my very own. We went down to hear the band begin. I blinked once and she was gone. That's right, she was gone. Gone, yeah. I blinked once and she was gone. I thought I was sitting on the throne. Big John told me about his condo deal. I blinked once and it was gone. The 1970s was 10 long years. It was 10 long years to sing a song. It kicked off madly with a New Year's cheer. I blinked once and it was gone. Yes, and it was gone, gone, yeah. I blinked once and it was gone. Now old man's talking about a gun he'd shot. He weren't much more than skin and bone, lying there breathing on this worn out cot. I blinked once and he was gone. He was gone, gone, yeah. I blinked once and he was gone. Yes, it was gone. I blinked once and he was gone. He was gone. I blinked once and he was gone.
That's terrific. How do you turn an everyday dish into... To Steve. Steve, take it away.
Everything's okay. Come on now beneath the shining sun. Leave me in the middle of the night. Let me hear you say everything's alright. Sneak on out beneath the stars and run. Yeah. Chandelier, where I won't have to speak my mind and you won't have to hear shreds of news and afterthoughts and the complicated scenes. We'll weather down behind the light and fade like magazines. Oh, yes, leave me in the middle of the day.
Okay, that's Steve Forbert. Steve, thank you very much. Good job. Steve, why don't you come back and join us here on the couch? And whilst he's getting situated, Red, why don't you tell me where you're working?
Oh, we're going on the road this weekend, actually, the 26th, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the little screen up there. There it is, right there. We're going to Litchfield, South Carolina on November the 26th, Ralph. Is that what is it? Like coming up this Saturday?
Well, tomorrow night, 17th and 18th at Gillies, or the place formerly known as Gillies, with John 25th in San Francisco at Slim's, a blues club in San Francisco.
Okay, I know that. Well, Paul, how about you?
Well, I don't have a band yet, Ralph.
So you're not working?
No,
You sit home in Nashville, write hit songs.
I'm booked to write with Don Slitz next week,
And Steve Forbert is working in Europe, I believe.
Next year. We just finished the whole country.
I have a note here that says, you have a European tour coming up, right?
Next year.
So you're glad to be home for a while.
Yes, we were just out for 2 months.
We're going to take a little break right here. When you want to make